So my name is Mehfooz Ali. I am a Khadim from Seattle, Washington. So this will be, inshallah, my last Ijtema, National Ijtema as a Khadim. And I just wanted to speak really briefly on my experience as a Khadim going to National Ijtemas and how that impacted me and the brotherhood that I saw there. So I actually grew up on the East Coast. I was actually Qaid of Maryland Jamaat. And prior to that role as a Qaid, I actually grew up not actually as attending a lot of Jamaat events. My family was far from the Jamaat. We did not have access to a mosque nearby. We actually went to non-Ahmadi mosques. But when I was about 15 or 16, we actually found where the Jamaat was. This was in York, Pennsylvania. And around that time, I started attending some of the local events, the local Khaddam events around the area, and saw that there was actually more to being a Muslim than what I had received from non-Ahmadi mosques and non-Ahmadi Muslim communities. One of the earliest National Ijtemas that I went to was at the new mosque site, which is where Beit Rahman is now built. And it was a really eye-opening event. There's no structure there. We actually did our National Ijtema in tents. So all of us brought our own tents. There were some tents set up for us as well. And there was a marquee and a pavilion. And I just saw the scope and the size of our organization. And it really made an impression on me that all of these people have come here for one purpose, and that is, to honor the promised Messiah and the Holy Prophet and to really improve themselves. There was no other event like that I had ever experienced before in my tenure as a young man. And I saw that it wasn't a perfect community. It wasn't there were Khaddam there and young boys. They were some were rowdy, but the impression I got was that people are sincere, and there was a lot of brotherhood, and I mean that people were actually genuinely interested in improving themselves and helping others. So as I went through that first Ijtema that I remember, I just came away with a really strong impression of that I'm part of something bigger. You really get the weight and the scale of our community in the U.S. and this is true for other countries too. From a National Ijtema, I don't think you can get that from anywhere else. So that was a very humbling experience because you're there for 3 days. You don't do anything else. There's nothing else to do. You can't get out, and you're just entirely focused on your improvement and seeing how others. You're comparing yourself to others as far as how they read the Quran and read the Azan and all of these things, and your mind is just focused on the one thing. And that's just your own self-training and improvement. The other impression I got was our Sadr and our Qaideen are people that are actually there to help you. That they're generally interested in your well-being and your welfare and your progression and progress as a Khadim and your spiritual advancement. And then I think that also carried forward for me as well when I became a Qaid. In Maryland, that I did my best to try to get Khaddam to attend the National Ijtema because you could see a distinct difference in Khaddam that actually attended a National Ijtema and those that didn't. That they understood they were part of something bigger.